So I really like the terrain of Triple Lakes because it's ups and downs the whole way. It's a nice variety. Most hiking trails in Alaska are just hike up a mountain and then turn around and hike down a mountain. Hey, today we're heading to Triple Lakes Trail in the Denali front country here, and Murph and the Sheep Shuttle is going to take us there. So he's going to drop us off at the village, and then I'm going to hike to the visitor center, and then I'll wait for my return Sheep Shuttle. That's how we're going to do it. That way, then, if I get there early, you know, I have some time to check out the visitor center or whatever while I wait for my Sheep Shuttle to come back. So yeah, here's what it looks like. So just make sure you book your Sheep Shuttle at least a day in advance. That way they can make sure they got people to take you to and from. All right, so we made it to... Yeah, the parking area is closed right now. They're still making a new one, but so I'm just gonna cross the road and start the trailhead. So I guess we'll see you at 9.5 miles on the other side. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right, cool.
Got you scheduled for pickup later.
Awesome. All right. So from the new parking lot, you'll be able to walk under this bridge here. You don't need to cross the road. And as you can see, they've been doing a lot of work on this trail, so this is one of the best maintained here in Denali National Park, front country. So Triple Lakes, we're hiking south to north, is about 9.2 miles. And about 1,830 feet of elevation gain. And they say it takes about 5 hours. So 5 hours is what I have to get my Sheep Shuttle. Pickup is scheduled for 4 p.m. So even if you have your own car, Sheep Shuttle is great because if you're going to do the through hike, you want to leave your car at one end, then have Sheep Shuttle take you to the far end, and then you're going to do the hike for 5 or so hours, and then you're going to end up back at your car, and then you can drive back to the hostel or wherever else you're staying. We've been going up for the past 30 minutes, so we're high above the village there. It's early July, we got lots of wildflowers blooming. So just a few safety items. You always want to carry bear spray in this part of the world, not hiking in Denali. I've got it. More importantly, keep the bear spray accessible in case you run out. In case you run into a bear, you need to get to it quickly. Also know how to use your bear spray also. They have a safety on there. You gotta know how to flip the safety off and then how to hold and spray it. And you know, you don't want to spray into the wind, things like that. You should know. If you're going to do the through hike, it's at least 5 hours. You want to bring layers, bring rain gear. You can get any kind of weather out here in the summer. It can be cold, rainy. They even had snow overnight in the summer here, so be prepared. Of course, good footwear. So we're at lake number 2 right now. We already passed lake number 1. A little drizzle is coming in. We're walking through a aspen grove right now. Another good viewpoint here. And I'm looking closely at some of these stumps. Definitely signs of beavers. All those down this clearing here. Beavers have taken these aspen trees probably down to create, that's probably a beaver dam down there. Now we're getting a better look at that. So I really like the terrain of Triple Lakes because it's ups and downs the whole way. It's a nice variety. Most hiking trails in Alaska are just hike up a mountain and then turn around and hike down a mountain, or just really flat and really easy. But this is nice. We go up and down throughout the hike, and yeah, like I said, it's about 1,800 feet of climbing, but it's spread out along 9 miles, so it doesn't feel crazy. So I think we're getting to the 3rd lake, and you can go down to each of the lakes, or you can the trails usually meet back up. The trail to the lakes meet back up to the main trails. There's some juniper. Wild rose. There's bluebells. And down here, Lake 3. This spur off to Lake 3, you actually have to go back to the main trail. It doesn't have a loop like the other ones. Here's a nice viewpoint. So when we look out in this part of the world, you know, we see really rounded and then really rounded peaks. We know all this was covered by glaciers back in probably the last ice age, maybe even since then. Beautiful dwarf dogwood flowers lining the trail. Here's some moose droppings. If you're not from Alaska, you want to know what moose droppings look like. That's it. They're really dry. Just bark and leaves and grass. About 2/3 of the way, and you can see there's some wind up here, Some nice views down there. So soon I'm going to start the descent down towards the visitor center. So I'm at about mile 8 right now, getting close to the visitor center. You can tell I'm down here in the lower elevation because the spruce trees are much bigger here. And yeah, basically, whichever side you start from, you're hiking slowly, gradually up to the higher elevation, and then there's some ups and downs there. The 3 lakes are on the southern end of the trail, but just a nice terrain and good views of the mountains. So figure at least 5 hours. I'm gonna come in under 4 hours, but I've been hiking, trying to keep in a good pace. But they recommend at least 4.5 hours for this. Most people I met today are just hiking in and then back out the same way. It's a lot better to do the through hike, and that's where Sheep Shuttle comes into play. So, you know, if you've got the car, you know, drop it at the end and have Sheep Shuttle bring it to the beginning of the trail and hike to your car, and you go back to your accommodation. Or use Sheep Shuttle for both ways. If you don't have a vehicle, use Sheep Shuttle for both drop off and pickup, which is what I'm doing today. Crossing the bridge here. Yeah, here we are. Well, I'm clocking about 10 miles here, but I went to each of the lakes. So a little more than the 9 that I said at the beginning. That was marked. Hey, here's the Sheep Shuttle.
How was the hike?
It was awesome.
Nice.
Excellent.